Hello everybody. I'm really sorry for the background. I actually wanted to turn on my light to have like a little bit of flare in the background, but I just broke my lamp and I don't have another light bulb, so. In today's video, we will be talking about scammers, especially on the internet. This is a very difficult topic and I can get a lot of hate for that, which I'm absolutely ready for because I cannot watch other people get scammed over and over again anymore. Quick disclaimer, just before we start, not everyone is like this. I know really cool people out there who are just trying to help others and, make a living out of that, which is absolutely fine. And I'm also part of coaching programs myself. I have done coaching trainings. I really like the work. I like the self-help community. I like the whole topic of self-development, which is also why I'm doing these kind of videos. However, there's also a dark side to it, just like with everything else in the world, and I want to shine some light on that. Please mind, in this video, I'm especially going to be focusing on the business aspect because, self-help is a huge topic. There is fitness, of course, mindset, psychology, philosophy. Let's start with my own personal coaching, self-help and self-development story. At the age of 19, I kind of discovered the whole scene. It must have been in like winter and I was studying in university. I thought about dropping out several times because I just felt like it didn't make any sense what I was doing in life at all. I must say I studied communication science, which is not something that really, contributes to society that much. I had a reason for feeling that way. Anyway, so I was lying in bed. It was like 2 a.m. or something in the morning, and I stumbled across a live stream from someone who talked about a coaching program. And this guy, talked about how you can transform your life, how you can meet like-minded people and have the best time of your life, basically. And I don't know why, but this one live stream and people commenting that it actually helped them a lot made me actually buy the 8-week program. The online course was, I think, 200 euros back then, which for me at that point in my life was extremely expensive. I do not regret the decision at all because it indeed was one of the best times I have had in my life so far. I met amazing people, some of which are still my friends to this day. I of course also met very weird people. I kind of got a taste from what it means to be more hungry and have bigger goals in life. The problem was there were also, of course, a lot of people who were older than I was. So I was 19 back then, I'm 23 now. It was like, I think 3.5 years ago, which is crazy. And also when I look back, I still felt extremely lonely sometimes because all these people had their goals and I was still at a point where I was figuring out who I was, what I actually wanted in life. And I must say I'm still at that point to this day, which is totally fine. But I felt like I should have figured life out at that point. And I was like 20, right? It felt like the only way to gain respect and have some kind of recognition in this kind of communities was by building up your own business and becoming successful, especially in terms of money and wealth. And then there are people who offer you to get you to the 10K a month within a year. I kind of fall for that. That's at least what I did. In these 3.5 years, I spent a lot of money, some of which I deeply regret and some of which I don't regret at all. When I look back and look at the things I regret buying, it was mostly because I was afraid of missing out on something or because I got pressured into buying that or manipulated into buying that. So I've seen behind the scenes of some of those leaders and I want to do this video to point out some of the things I've heard people say that I, at this point in my life, don't think they are true anymore. And the first thing is, the richer you get, the more you can actually help other people. Now, we live in a system that is built on making money, and it seems like money is the only power you can have to actually change something in this world. And I just want to place the question here, is that really true? Does money actually equal power? And it is a question that I cannot answer for myself, and everyone has to find their own answer to that. I cannot deny that money has extreme power and that there is a lot of imbalance on this planet just because the wrong people have money and they spend it in not the right way. And we also live in a system where we all have to make money at the end of the day to live a good life and to be able to survive in some kind of way. The only question is if being a part of this system and playing along will actually change something in the long run. I'm just asking myself, do we actually have to become millionaires or billionaires to be able to help people and to be able to shift the whole mindset of the planet? Because to me it seems extremely easy to have the excuse to become a billionaire, because I first have to build up my own business and I first have to make that much money to be able to donate to others. I saw a video the other day on white saviorism. I'm gonna put it in the description box because to me it was actually very eye-opening. And I thought of it the same way when it comes to this entrepreneur community. People who live the absolute dream Dubai lifestyle, a lot of influencers who, you know, go there, exploit people and human rights just to save taxes. And who want to tell you that this is how you can become fulfilled and happy in life. I have watched a lot of money mindset content where they tell you the more money you make, the more you are able to help other people. And the question is, can't you help others by, you know, going outside in front of your door and smile at a stranger? And what makes me very upset sometimes is that these kind of things are being said in the context of selling a coaching session for like 8 to 10K. There's nothing wrong with wanting to have money. I really want to put that here. I also want to have money. This is the system we live in. And I also want to travel the world. And I also want to eat nice food and not think about, can I actually buy this dress? Can't I buy it? I want to be able to live as sustainable as I can and actually be able to afford it in that kind of sense. Ego in itself is not bad. Sometimes it is just framed in a very manipulative way. Instead of saying, hey, I can help you build your business so you can get approval from other people, they say, hey, you need to build this business to be able to help others. And that's not true. And the worst part behind it, especially what I have experienced, is that you fall into the trap of thinking that you first have to become very rich in order to be happy. And I totally understand where people are coming from. When I was younger, all the jobs I dreamt of were something where I didn't work for other people. I wanted to become an author, I wanted to become an actress, I wanted to do YouTube videos, I wanted to go into directing and storytelling, doing these kind of videos. So I understand that you don't want to work for someone else. But I find it extremely concerning when certain, sometimes spiritual lessons, psychological lessons are being used totally out of context to basically fool other people. And that is not something I want to support. And as I said before, I'm also very spiritual. I also believe in these kind of things. And I'm also part of certain programs. I also work as a coach sometimes. But you have to realize that there are also people out there who want you to become dependent on them so that they can sell you more and more stuff. Now, we all can probably agree that there are a lot of coaching trainings online that are extremely high in price. Prices generally are absolutely subjective, and there is not one universal truth on what is expensive and what is not. Sometimes I've experienced, though, that the audience people have is extremely young. You know, I was 19 and I wasn't the youngest one doing these things. There were people who were 15, 16, and I was working in a bakery earning 400 euros a month. And I remember the time I went to my dad and I asked him, hey, can you borrow me 8K euros for this business program where I learn how to, you know, make a lot of money online? And he just looked at me like I was completely going insane, which I totally understand now. And I'm extremely happy that he said no. I find it very concerning when people have a very young audience and they sell these kind of high price coaching, especially when things are being said like hustle now and live the rest of your life as a champion. 5 people you surround yourself with, that is you. You know, your friends, they don't have the kind of mindset you have. So you are the one hustling now. And you should, you know, distance yourself from your friends a bit, from your social life a little bit. Go out on the weekends to drink and party. That is not what winners do. When you start now at the age of 15, you know where you will be at the age of 25? You will be rich, famous. And you don't even need those kind of people in your life. And these are things I actually learned. I'm not saying you should not distance yourself from toxic people, but when you're 16, yes, you should also be able to live your life. If you want to build something up for yourself, by all means do that. I really like Gary Vee's perspective on age, because he always said people think being 30 is old, but actually it's like super young. So don't mind trying things out. Don't mind making the wrong decisions. It is all fine. Where I'm coming from is from a perspective of feeling extremely lonely, because I have distanced myself from certain people and from the regular normal lifestyle. And I came to realize, especially in the COVID pandemic, that that is not the way I personally want to live. Coaching is amazing, but I also think it is especially amazing for a short period of time, because you should not be dependent on someone holding your hand for, the rest of your life. You learn things and then there is a time to implement these things. Now back to the topic. How do those people that are being rich and that try to tell you to do the same actually come to the money? I've seen so many people earning money by telling others to build up a business without them having actually built up a business before. And then they say they are rich and they make money. 100% make this kind of money by telling others how to build up a business. I hope you understand what I mean. It just doesn't make any sense. Just do your research. Before you work with someone, do your research. There are people out there who are very advanced when it comes to psychology and manipulation at the end of the day. We all manipulate each other to some extent. You can say that energy is literally manipulation. But making it conscious and negative in order to harm others is not something I'm a fan of. I wasn't happy with the results I got out of certain things I booked. And I have asked for money back sometimes. And when you do these kind of things, or when you offer some critical perspective on the whole thing, people tend to get very offended and it can get extremely dirty. There is technically no right or wrong. In my opinion, if you do harm other people over and over again in order to get to money to eventually be able to do good, then that goodness is kind of being neutralized. The whole perspective of reach for the sky, become rich, I get it. I totally understand why you want that. But I also feel like, first of all, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It is not as glamorous as it maybe seems online, just like an influencer lifestyle is not as glamorous as it sometimes seems to be. You can reach for the sky, no problem, but please don't detach from reality. Business mentors and leaders address needs people actually have. This is why you go to McDonald's, because you are hungry, or they put some kind of ingredients in there that make you addicted to the food. And you have the need to have McDonald's, so you go there and spend your money. A lot of us, especially the younger generation, questions the system we are born in. And a lot of us are not happy with the system we are born into. Also, not the working system. We see these kind of videos, I don't dream of labor, I don't have a dream job, anti-capitalistic views, questioning 9 to 5. But by promoting that being rich and famous is the ultimate way to happiness, I feel like we can get detached sometimes from what actually matters and what makes us personally happy. This is my main criticism, and this is also the main point I want to shine light on. I have learned that postponing and projecting my happiness into a future that is maybe not even granted can be very detrimental to my mental health and my mental state. Your 20s, your 30s, whatever age you're in, there is room to experience life. Hope in itself is a privilege. And I also want to strongly believe that if I do what I love doing, that I can get to money and some kind of wealth in a way where I don't have to harm others. And yes, there's also a teeny tiny part inside of my body that wants to completely get rid of capitalism and go back to nature and just being and living in the woods. Even though I know I'm also profiting from the system I live in at the moment. So I don't know. Just know that helping others doesn't always have to be through severe manipulation and gaslighting. All of these experiences, though, have showed me how I can spend my money in a good way. I have learned to set boundaries. I have learned that sometimes you shouldn't be trusting people if you're not happy and if promises aren't fulfilled. There is a thing called a contract. I also learned that I shouldn't be pressuring myself into doing things just because of FOMO or just because I want validation from others. However, I've also learned to be very mindful when it comes to self-help these days. Know how much you can take and when it is actually time to take a break. You don't need anyone particularly to be able to achieve something in life. I had people come up to me and they were like, hey, look, do you actually want to spend that money on this? And I felt very offended in that sense because I was like, yes, this is the only way. Internally, I was thinking this is the only way of me becoming self-confident, of me getting recognition, of me being loved. And this is why I didn't listen. Also, quick thing on like coaching. I know I've talked about business mostly in this video. However, coaching I feel like is for healthy people. So just as a quick reminder, if you feel mentally not safe and stable, please seek professional help. And have in mind that coaching is an amazing tool, but there is also other things that you can try. I hope I said everything I wanted to say. If you have any input, please feel free to leave a comment. If I forgot anything, if you feel like you do not have the opinion I have. Thank you guys for watching and I hope you have a great day. Bye!